My name is Michelle Alfano. I am a writer of fiction and nonfiction. I've written a book called The Unfinished Dollhouse, which is about my son's transition as a transgender boy and how our family coped with that transition. I largely write fiction, but in putting this together, it was important for me to have an objective person who was looking at the information, what had actually happened, and pulling me back from the elements that were perhaps more embellished or that they were exaggerated in my mind. They were more emotional in my mind. So it was important for me to have other people look at it and say, that wasn't quite how it happened. Because I'm accustomed to heightening the drama, heightening the emotion, and I needed it to be as accurate as possible in the way that I remembered it, but tempered by the perspective of other people. The Unfinished Dollhouse started as a blog. It was an anonymous blog. I wrote it for myself. I didn't share it with anybody. But then I slowly started to ask other people to read it. I asked my son to read it, my husband to read it. And then it became more a kind of daily journal of what was transpiring during the transition. I wanted the book to be, initially it was a cathartic experience, and then it became a way of sharing with the people around me what was transpiring and what was difficult about what was transpiring. And then it became a resource for other parents of trans children, because I didn't feel there was another resource that honestly dealt with all the emotions that you're going through as a trans parent, as the parent of a trans child. A lot of the material you read, and there's a lot of good material, but it's very raw, support your child needs you, and that's fantastic, that's great, I support that. However, there is an element of loss and melancholy, and I didn't find any material that was talking about that. I wanted to talk about my loss and my melancholy, not so that it overwhelms the parents of other trans children. I don't want them to be overwhelmed or discouraged, but I want them to know that it's acceptable to feel this way. Acknowledge it, feel it, move on, and then do what you can to help your child, because the main goal is helping your child through the transition. What I foresee in the future is my son Frankie telling his story. I would love him to tell a version of everything that happened from his perspective and my role in it, because even though Frankie has read the multiple drafts of The Unfinished Dollhouse, he's commented on it, he's asked for adjustments, I know that his perspective when he's a grown adult is going to be very different. That's what I anticipate. He's a very articulate kid. He's very passionate about the right for trans kids and trans people. And I think that coming down the road, that's what's going to happen. My name is Michelle Alfano. I am the author of The Unfinished Dollhouse.